Do you have any idea how much effort it took me so Charlie would finally look my way? I had to wake up extra early, curl my hair, wear makeup, pick out the best outfits, and wear heels to school every freaking day.
Sweetheart, you should never have to change yourself for anyone to love you.
That's a lie ugly people made up. Besides, boys like Charlie deserve a little effort.
Boys like Charlie deserve to get their butt kicked. Vandalizing school property, cheating in exams, answering back to teachers.
Have you met our teachers? They're so rude and obnoxious. And this school is so old, it's already falling apart. At least they're renovating now, thanks to Charlie.
Now that's just dumb.
No, Mom. Dragging your adult daughter out of a party in front of her friends is dumb. They all think I'm a loser now, especially Charlie.
Nonsense. Listen, Tara, I don't want you to fall in trouble because of that butt-faced Charlie. He's not the right guy for you.
And how do you know that?
Because I fell for a guy like him, and it almost ruined my life. Sit down. There's something you need to know.
Hi, I'm Sandy, and I have the craziest story to tell you. But first, like and subscribe to MSA. Dad had $1 million business. We lived in a mansion, and life was pretty much perfect. But when I turned 13, Mom left Dad for another man, and Dad couldn't take the betrayal. Dad was just getting over the shock when a month later, his business partner cheated him. He lost a ton of money, and after that, Dad just couldn't trust anyone.
The new neighbor gives me the creeps. I think he's after my mansion.
He's almost 85 years old. The only thing he's after is getting through another day without dying. But Dad got paranoid, hired a bunch of security guards, and installed over a dozen cameras around the house. By the time I turned 17, Dad's paranoia hit an all-time high. I wasn't allowed to go out with my friends, for movies, or stay beyond a particular hour. I was miserable. And then, a year later, I met Freddie. His dad was really rich, so you might think Freddie would be sophisticated and classy, but he was completely opposite. Freddie got a silver Cadillac for his birthday, but he hated the color, so he crashed it on purpose. That's nothing. Freddie's dad got married a couple of months back, and he spiked the food with earthworms. Let's just say that his dad would not be throwing a party anytime soon. He was your typical rich bad boy, and for some reason, I had the biggest crush on him. The next day in class, he was assigned my lab partner, and it was the most distracted I'd ever been. I kept knocking tumblers together, dropping chemicals everywhere. At one point, I was reaching for my books, and our hands brushed against each other, and I felt my cheeks on fire. After the class was over, I tried running from the room as fast as I could, but I tripped over something invisible and would have fallen on my face if Freddie didn't catch me.
Are you always this clumsy, or do I have a special effect on you?
Kind of both, actually. Freddie gave me a smirk and offered to walk me out. We ended up having lunch together, and after that day, we just got closer. Soon after, Freddie and I started dating, and life with him was a blast. I snuck out every night and went to the craziest parties, fancy nightclubs, and the most exclusive restaurants where I met all of Freddie's friends, each one richer than the next. I was having the time of my life, and what made it better was that Freddie was an absolute sweetheart. I could talk to him about everything, and we had so much in common.
My dad has never paid any attention until I ruined his wedding. Maybe because the snake he married asked him to keep an eye on me.
At least you still have your freedom. I feel like a prisoner in my own house. Then one night, Freddie booked an entire amusement park for me. We were stuffing our faces with hot dogs, laughing and chatting, till my dad's guards tackled Freddie to the ground, with Dad right next to them. What are you doing here? And how did you find me?
The guard saw you sneaking out and followed you. What were you thinking, Sandy? Sneaking out with some guy like that? Excuse me, sir, but I'm not just some guy. My name is Freddie, and I come from a very respectable family. If you could be the king of Egypt for all I care, but for me, you're the lowlife who sneaked out my daughter. What were your intentions with her? Kidnapping?
Stop it, Dad! You're embarrassing me!
Don't tell me what to do and march your butt before I send this Romeo to jail.
I had no intention of doing what Dad said, but I did it anyway to avoid more chaos. And after that day, Dad and I hardly spoke to each other. Like father, like daughter. You don't know what your pops was like, okay? He was crazy. I'm nothing like him. So you think, Mom? Are you done being sarcastic? Not even close. Anyway, Dad grounded me and took away my phone privileges. I wasn't allowed to go to school without a bodyguard following me around, and it was getting annoying by the minute. Freddie and I couldn't hang out anymore, so we started sneaking around in school. Actually, I was surprised he was still interested in me after the way my dad treated him.
You understand me better than anyone else. I can't let you go because your dad's a psycho. I swear, if I wasn't trying so hard to get into my dad's good books for that private jet I want, I would have kidnapped your dad and shipped him off to Hawaii.
Oh my God.
Okay, I won't ship him to Hawaii. Please don't cry.
That's not why I'm crying, dummy. I just realized I'm in love with you.
I love you too.
Freddie pulled me closer, but before he could kiss me, the janitor burst open the door and started screaming. Before Freddie and I could even react, he rushed to the principal's office and told Miss Everclear that Freddie and I were making out in the closet. The principal was furious and called our parents. Freddie's folks didn't show up, but my dad did, and I was shaking in my boots. My butt was about to get grounded for life.
Freddie is known for his antics, but Sandy, you're a good student. Your teacher tells me you've been skipping a lot of classes lately, and now this?
But we were just talking.
In the janitor's closet? Please don't question my intelligence, Sandy. I'm afraid we'll have to suspend you both for a week. Sir, if you will be kind enough.
But Dad was only half listening. His eyes were glued to Miss Everclear. I'd never seen him this dumbfounded. Miss Everclear handed him my suspension letter, and I was fully prepared for Dad to give me an earful, but he simply turned around and left with a stupid smile on his face. I followed Dad outside, but just then Freddie pulled me to the side.
Did you see that?
Totally. Miss Everclear is freakishly obsessed with cats. She has some 10,000 pictures of them.
I'm talking about your dad. He has a crush on Miss Everclear.
Ew, no. I think he was just stressed at work.
No, I'm a man and I know how a man reacts when he's in love. Your dad likes Miss Everclear, and this might be the end of all our problems.
I don't see your point.
Don't you get it? If your dad has a relationship of his own, then he'd probably be too busy to butt into our lives, and we can do whatever we like.
You think that'll work?
Absolutely. Love makes you blind. This would be perfect.
For the next few days, Freddie and I followed Miss Everclear around like a shadow. We found out that she was staying in a dingy 2-bedroom house, loved eating frozen pasta, and was dating some wannabe Italian painter. Freddie's plan was simple. Take Miss Everclear's boyfriend out of the picture and replace him with Dad.
We should hire a bunch of thugs to annoy Miss Everclear, and your dad can swoop in like a hero and save her. I know someone who might help.
Absolutely not! It's too dangerous.
I can hack into your dad's social media and slide into Miss Everclear's DMs. Bet that'll work.
Okay, firstly, Dad doesn't have a social media account because he's afraid someone might invade his privacy. And secondly, I don't want to go to jail.
Stop shooting down all my ideas.
Then suggest something good. We were running out of options when one afternoon, Freddie and I were waiting outside Miss Everclear's house and saw her boyfriend hop his way to her home. And that's when the most brilliant idea hit me. I told Freddie and he immediately agreed. He jumped out of the car and rushed toward Miss Everclear's boyfriend.
Excuse me, sir. Do you mind telling me where the aquarium is? I'm lost.
Scusa, I'm late to meet my pretty girlfriend.
Suddenly, Freddie hugged Miss Everclear's boyfriend and started crying like a little boy.
Please, oh please, sir. I'm very sentimental about fish. My mom worked as a mermaid in an aquarium once, but then she grew older and quit. I wanted to become just like her, but you know our society frowns upon boys who become mermaids. You see where I'm going with this?
Not the really.
Just take me to the aquarium, please. I don't want to miss the mermaid show.
Bene. Come with me.
The aquarium was close, so Freddie and Miss Everclear's boyfriend decided to walk down. Freddie distracted Miss Everclear's boyfriend with his sob story about a mermaid mom, while I tiptoed behind him and smeared my lipstick all over his t-shirt. Sorry, they were out of tissues. Thank you. Bye! Saying that, I rushed outside at the speed of light, and soon after, Freddie followed. We hid behind a tree close to Miss Everclear's house and watched her lose her mind over the lipstick-stained t-shirt, and then she kicked her poor boyfriend out of the house. The next thing we needed to do was to make Dad meet Miss Everclear again. Freddie's uncle was having a fundraiser, and he invited both Dad and Miss Everclear. They were chatting and having a great time until Miss Everclear's boyfriend showed up.
I didn't cheat on you. It was just some stupid girl who messed up my shirt. Believe me, my pretty, pretty baby.
Get off me, you liar. I hate you. I hate your accent. Hate that stupid thing you call art. Leave and never come back. Or I'll ask my new boyfriend to kick your butt.
I'm your boyfriend?
Of course, sweetie. Now let's have some fruit punch. Miss Everclear's boyfriend wept like a little boy, but she ignored him and left. Soon after, Dad and Miss Everclear started dating officially, and as expected, Dad was totally out of my hair. Freddie and I were going out again for parties, movies, and date nights, and life was perfect. Except Miss Everclear's boyfriend was as obsessed as ever and kept showing up at our house asking for forgiveness. When I told this to Freddie, he looked concerned.
We need to do something about this guy before he ruins everything. What if he convinces Miss Everclear to patch things up with him?
He's already suffering, Freddy. What more can we do?
Leave that to me.
Freddy made a phone call, and a few minutes later, he came back with Miss Everclear's boyfriend's address. We drove to his place and parked the car across the street. Freddy and I tiptoed our way to the back of the mansion, and Freddy picked up a rock. I don't like this. It's illegal.
No, Sandy. What's happening to us is illegal. We are young. We should be able to live our life the way we want to. Now, I'm going in and seeing if there's anything we can use against this guy so he never bothers us again. Are you with me?
It's a stupid idea.
You always say that.
Freddy was about to throw the rock at the window when I asked him to wait, pulled out a bobby pin, and opened the back door. What? I was bored at home, and the internet is a huge place. Come on, now. We went inside the house and started searching for clues. There was nothing out of the ordinary. Disappointed, Freddy and I decided to leave when suddenly we heard a car pull up in the driveway. We darted across the living room, panicked, and accidentally tipped over a candle. The curtain would have caught fire, but Freddy was quick to put it out. We jumped through one of the windows without anyone noticing and were standing across the street when suddenly we heard a sound and the house blew up in flames. The fire brigade was there in minutes and Miss Everclear's boyfriend was safe, but the house was toast. Freddy drove us off before someone noticed us. Oh my God, what have I done?
Don't panic. Everything's under control.
Under control? We literally burnt someone's house down. We've got to come clean, Freddy.
Are you barking mad? You want us to go to jail? I've been trying so hard to stay clean, and I am not letting one mistake ruin it all.
It's not a mistake, it's a crime!
Think about this, Sandy. If your dad finds out that we were behind the fire, he'll also know that we were the ones who set him up with Miss Everclear, and he will probably ground you for life. And my dad would ship me off to a boarding school, and he'll never buy me that private jet. This has to be our secret.
I thought about it, and maybe Freddy was right. If I told Dad that I broke into someone's house and burned it down, he would lock me up and never let me go. I had no choice but to keep my mouth zipped. So, you're a thief, a liar, a manipulator. Anything else I forgot to add to the list?
Yes, your mother. So you better not get carried away.
So, breaking and entering a house to collect evidence so you can hook your dad up with your teacher is not getting carried away? Whatever. Anyway, for the next few days, Freddy and I lay low. The news about a house burning down in flames was all over the television, and they were still looking for culprits. Thankfully, all the CCTV footage was burnt in the accident too, so there was no proof against me and Freddy, but I just couldn't shake off the guilt. To top it off, Miss Everclear got a restraining order against her ex-boyfriend, moved in with Dad, and became a total pain in my butt. She went on shopping sprees, got a makeover, quit her job, and laid on the couch all day passing orders.
Sandy, darling, be a doll and get me a sandwich. And this time, I need pickles with cheese and cucumbers. Actually, could you add some wafers in there too? I like when it's crunchy. And no spice, it gives me diarrhea. Oh, and I don't feel so good today. Do you mind massaging my feet for a while too?
You can ask one of the servants to do it for you, Miss Everclear.
Yes, but you make the best sandwiches, and your hands are so much softer.
Ugh, so annoying. I wanted to talk to Dad about this, but he was happy after so long, and I didn't want to take that away from him. So I turned to Freddy for help.
Just stay with her till the end of the school year. Once we're in college, we'll move in together and everything will be A-okay.
How? All my life I have lived under my father's thumb, Freddy, and now this stupid secret is consuming me. I have to talk to my dad before I lose my mind.
You can't do that. I won't let you.
I don't need your permission.
Fine, go. Ruin everything. You know what, Sandy? This is your problem. You're just too weak-hearted. That's why it was so easy for your dad to control you. Look at me. I took a stand and fought back, and now I'm getting my private jet.
Too bad you think I'm not good enough for you. Go find someone who is and leave me alone. Before Freddy said anything else, I just turned around and left. I had decided to tell Dad the truth about how we broke up Miss Everclear and her boyfriend and the whole thing about the fire. But when I reached home, I was shocked to see a bunch of police cars in the driveway. I rushed inside and saw Dad talking to some officers. Dad, I was about to tell you.
You knew? Was I the only one who was blind? That woman fooled me and I couldn't even do anything. How could I be so stupid?
Wait, what? Dad told me that the reason why we had police come over to our place was because Miss Everclear was actually a con woman who'd been on the run for years, and now they'd arrested her.
This morning, I went to my study and caught her stealing money from my drawers. I went through the footage on my hidden camera and saw that she'd been stealing from me for a while. So I alerted the police and they told me they'd been looking for her. Do you know her name is not even Everclear? It's Gina Sour Cream or Sour Cream or something.
I can't believe this.
I think I'm just doomed when it comes to love. Or maybe I'm just stupid.
Dad broke down in tears, and I felt a sharp pain in my chest. I sat him down and told him everything, and he looked at me blankly. I'm sorry, Dad. I thought if you had someone in your life, you'll be less lonely, and I will finally have my freedom. I was selfish and mean, and I don't deserve your love.
After your mom left, I was just too afraid to lose you too. I wanted you around me all the time, and I guess I forgot you're a grown lady now, and you have your own life. I'm sorry too.
Dad, can we leave this city? I think we've both had too many heartbreaks to survive here now.
I agree.
Dad and I hugged and made up. Freddie tried calling me 1,000,000 times, but I just ignored him. Instead, I dropped him a text that I was leaving and then switched off my phone. Dad and I booked a late-night flight to our hometown in Texas, and we were on our way to the airport when a sports car pulled up and blocked our way. I got out and saw Freddie in the driver's seat. What do you think you're doing?
I did it. I told the police that I was the one behind the fire in that house.
What?
Wait. They told me that the real cause of the fire was a short circuit from an open wire. So they asked me to pay a fine for trespassing and let me go. It wasn't our fault, Sandy.
And your dad? What did he say?
He took away my private jet, but that's okay. I'll survive without that. But I can't survive without you. Please don't go. I love you.
Freddie, I love you too, but right now, I need to figure out my life, and for that, I need time, away from everything. My dad needs me now. I can't abandon him, not after all this was partially my fault.
Will you ever come back?
I don't know.
Then I'll wait for you, even if it's forever.
I went with Dad to Texas, and I decided I wanted to be a writer. How could you leave Freddie like that? He loved you so much.
I know, but I had to move on. That's life.
You're heartless, Mom.
Nope, I'm smart. If I wouldn't have left Freddie, he wouldn't have realized his mistakes, and I would have never married him.
Wait, what? Freddie is Dad? But his name is James.
So I changed a few names. Big deal. But I hope you get the point of the story.
I do. And I promise you that one day, Charlie will learn his lesson too. Until then, let me make my own stories, Mom.
So this was a waste?
Not entirely. I know my mom a lot better now.